Thank you for pressing play. The content you're about to hear is all produced by The Coffee Show, a weekly radio program.
Welcome to The Coffee Show world of content. That guy over there is Randy.
Hi, and he's Keith.
Hi. The Coffee Show is a weekly radio program of extemporaneous comedy and great music that we have been doing for a very long time.
Since 1992, even.
Before our voices changed, all the rest of our worlds changed.
Keith, I'll tell you what hasn't changed, and that's that the whole time we've been on KGLT, which, if you're not familiar with it, is a non-commercial radio station. So as part of it, you won't hear advertisements, but you may hear us reference specific underwriters on the show.
That's right. They do the good work supporting that great nonprofit venture. You will hear us also reference the songs that were played on this week's show, but because of copyright issues, we will not be able to play those songs for you.
Yeah, we cut out all that content so you can focus on what's important, and that's, of course, our inane chatter. Without further ado, please enjoy this week's content, this week's issuance, this week's utterances.
Enjoy this week's extemporaneous offering. Please don't listen at 1.5.
Not for the weak, not for the meek, for the men in fedora hats. Randy and Keith, Wednesdays at 3, tune it in KGLT. Coffee show fans apply. Coffee show fans inquire inside.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our friends beyond the gender binary. It is sometime in the 3 o'clock hour here on KGLT, KGLZ, and KGLT.net, which means it is once again time for the coffee show with me and a few of my favorite things, my friend Randy. Hi, Randy.
I like totals.
He likes turtles. That's cool. I like turtles as well.
Do I have to list a few of my favorite things, like the song says, or can I just list one?
They have to rhyme as well.
Oh, turtles, and I also like hurdles. And I guess if you're into Pokemon, Squirtle is okay. That's kind of a turtle type thing anyway, but that's all right.
You do the Wordle every day?
I do sometimes do the Wordle. Got like a 90% success rate on that.
Squirtle and turtle, and sometimes I wordle. There you go. Done.
Yeah, what are your rhyming things that you like?
Oh, I like pizza and Nietzsche, and sometimes I'll beat you at Tetris.
Sometimes the third thing will defeat you.
That's true. You always got to watch out for that third thing whenever you're making a list of funny stuff.
Always the third thing that gets you.
It's thing, funny thing. That's the rule of 3 in comedy.
Well, Keith, one of your favorite things is great because it lines up with our program underwriter, Columbo's Pizza and Pasta. They do have several third things, though. They got Miss Pac-Man there. They've got the claw machine that you can win some prizes.
They have a third thing. It just doesn't rhyme because they weren't ready for our hilarious shtick.
They have a change machine where you can put in $1 and maybe win a bunch of quarters.
I think you'll win 4 quarters per dollar on average.
Yeah, I've come out dead even so far. Maybe I shouldn't keep pushing it.
That's better than the odds in Reno.
Yeah, it's better than the odds on the tip jar. I haven't made anything off of that. Granted, I don't work at Columbo's. You know.
You know what, though? I hate to take umbrage with you on this, but...
I don't know if I have umbrage to spare.
Well, hopefully you didn't put any in the tip jar.
No, it's in the tray. That got some umbrage, leave some umbrage. Need some umbrage, take some umbrage. So you obviously can take some umbrage. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I take umbrage constantly, yes.
It shows, man. You look great.
I've got a satchel full of umbrage.
My doctor says I haven't been getting enough umbrage, so I should probably look at whatever supplements you're using.
You got to get an all-brand cereal. You take umbrage with that a lot. You're like, this is disgusting. This is basically like eating corrugated cardboard mixed with bark, but I'm getting the umbrage I need.
I asked my doctor if umbrage was right for me, and he gave me the same confused look he had been giving me for the whole appointment. So I couldn't discern whether or not I should take it. I assume I'm just taking it anyway.
Yeah, never trust advertisements for umbrage. Randy, I want to get to this point. You have made hilarious jokes for so long now.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead. No, yeah.
Let your hilariousness aside, as I say, the more money you put in the tip jar, the more return you get. You know, you are winning every single time because you're making life better for the people who help you at the restaurant, and you also are receiving fantastic service in return.
So it's like that Beatles song and love.
It's like that Beatles song, all you need is more tips in the tip jar.
I was talking about that other Beatles song, We All Live in a Yellow Submarine.
Oh, I was talking about that Beatles song, Baby, You're a Rich Man. You keep all your money in a big brown bag, put it in the tip jar. What a thing to do. Possibly my favorite song of all time, Prisen Colin Ainsenine Chusel by Adriano Celentano. We started the coffee show this week with... Alberto Camerini and his rendition of Ska Tenate. And in the middle, these Italians, they're everywhere. And in the middle, you heard Amazulu from the United Kingdom with their song Moonlight Romance.
You gotta promise me you leave in that pensive noise that you just had to come up with what song you played first. You must promise me.
Okay, fine. Well, now you've made a joke about it, so it has to stay in the show.
Yeah. Go ahead. Can you make that noise for me one more time, just so I can confirm the sound of it overall?
Sure. Which is also the sound I make when I think about every time we get to go to Program Underwriter. Whistle Pig Korean.
See, that's not the noise I thought you were making.
Oh.
I thought you were making the noise about the tattoo you got that's just a bunch of M's that circles around your leg in an endless cycle of mms at Program Underwriter Bozeman's Tattoo Alley. Now, of course, to you, Keith, it looks like but to everyone else, it's a bunch of W's, which is a lot harder to pronounce than a bunch of M's.
Oh, I got them upside down, so the tattoo only works for me. They would advise me better than that at Bozeman's Tattoo Alley.
They would, but would you listen? That's the question. It's about your judgment.
It still looks like W's to everyone because I'm always leaning on my back doing bicycle kicks.
Is there a dot in there? Is it a website that I'm missing?
No, that's an ampersand. It's very small. It's about my love for M&Ms.
Oh, it's an upside down ampersand. Got it. The Upside Down Ampersand is our secret writers club that we've excluded you from. I'm so sorry. I know you're a writer. We basically did it just to keep you out. Very, very selfish.
You and other graphic designers and artists?
No, it's me and other writers. It's me and Stephen King is in there. Got a bunch of people. We've got a lot of posthumous, like Peter Straub is in there too. You know, just out of memory for Steve. That was one of Steve's picks.
Stephen King gets to pick who also has blackballed me from your club.
If he's going to join, that's a great honor to our group, Keith. So I'm not going to tell him we can't have a posthumous member of his choosing based on whatever whim I have. I'll be like, yeah, you're welcome to the club. You're cool. Don't tell Keith about it. And be sure to get the super secret upside down ampersand tattoo that we all have.
First off, A.
Yeah.
I would be much more flattered if it was posthumously Harlan Ellison keeping me out of the Writers Club. B.
Yeah, he's in there too. Don't worry.
I'm very flattered that Stephen King thinks enough of me to keep me out of the Writers Club. He knows who I am.
Yeah, no.
I'll take that alone.
He absolutely knows who you are. And he enjoys your work, but he understands where I'm coming from in keeping you out. I already spend like once a week with you on the radio show. I don't want to burn out on hanging out with you, Keith. It's great, but I don't want it to be here and there. It's like, you don't want to work with your wife, right? You don't want to go to work and be like, all right, honey, I'll see you at home. And then you drive separately home. And then you're like, oh, you're home too. We got here at the same time. I don't know why we don't carpool, but I'm going to go think about it. You think about it in your separate room and I'll be over here in my separate room.
It would be more environmentally friendly if we carpooled together, but we like different podcasts. Yeah. And so she and I have to commute to work separately.
And until they change the law so that you can drive with headphones on, I think we're going to have to drive separately. This club, Keith, is our separate carpooling. You understand?
I respect it totally. And of course, I have formed a artists and designers guild to keep you out that Ray and Charles Eames have joined and kept you out posthumously.
That's pretty cool, but a lot of our articles are just about trashing that particular club. It's just basically a notebook that a teenage girl would keep, like a slam book, just about how your club is less cool than our club.
Yeah, but my club is all Tumblr posts about how your club stinks, designed by some of the finest graphic designers in the world. You're not keeping up with the times.
Yeah, but graphic designers love to use ampersands, and good luck not referencing us every time. Your club doesn't even have a name.
Nerd Alert by the Aquabats from their album Charge. We started that bank of songs with When You Know by the Beths. And you also heard Waking Up by Caro Bonito, a thing that I don't mind doing, but I know a lot of people do hate doing. Waking up, that is.
Yeah, I hate alarms and alerts, especially nerd alerts, because every time I hear one go off, I look around and I don't see any nerds. So I don't know what that means.
Well, you're not the Willy Wonka factory.
That's true. Yeah, they make the Nerds candy.
Yeah.
I appreciate the Nerds candy, even though they separate out the two types of candies and build a little cardboard wall between them. It's fine. I don't know if they fight if they get mixed in with each other. The rainbow ones do just fine. I don't get it.
I assume that it's just more of the weird racist tactics of Willy Wonka. You know, I mean, like he enslaved the Oompa Loompas and made them work in his factory.
Well, he gave them jobs, but yeah, it wasn't the best situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, indentured servitude is technically, in the broadest sense, giving someone a job.
I mean, it's not technically indentured servitude, Keith. I think you've been fed a story about the Wonka Corporation and you've taken in the whole message hook, line, and sinker.
I have read the Roald Dahl book, so...
Sure. That's just one source of information, Keith, about that situation, so yeah.
It is just the origin of it, yes. But fortunately, that dude's long dead. It's been generations. And now William Wonka, who's like, please, Willy was my father, called me Mr. Wonka, has been working to improve worker conditions at the factories.
Things didn't work out with Charlie and it reverted back to the Wonka family, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. He never should have gotten in that great glass elevator so many times. It's a huge risk every time, and he did it again.
Air gets thin up there. I'm not sure. Actually, I may have misread it. I believe that the company is currently led by a Wallace Wonkers. I just assumed he was related. Maybe this is some type of typographical situation, but Wallace Wonkers has been doing a very good job.
I think what happened is the great glass elevator shot through the roof, and then it got stuck up there. You know how you get stuck in an elevator? And it's just, they haven't talked to him since. Maybe someday he'll be freed.
You know how you get stuck in an elevator and live there forever?
Yeah, it's sort of technically between floors. It's between the top floor and no other floor.
You know how it is. You're between the 8th floor and the stratosphere.
Elevators just get stuck sometimes. That's how it happens. Anyway, it's just a shame that Willy Wonka didn't get to extrapolate the everlasting gobstopper technology to other candies.
Yeah.
You know, everlasting other versions of things.
Yeah, everlasting nose stopper. Everlasting...
well, it's just a jawbreaker, right? I mean, it's a jawbreaker that doesn't melt down. You just get to enjoy it forever.
Yeah, gob is like an English slang for your mouth. So the idea is that it stops your mouth from doing other stuff other than consuming this candy. So there's the everlasting ear stopper that really helps with like if you have swimmer's ear.
It has active noise cancellation, so that's good.
Noisy concert, the everlasting nose stopper, as I mentioned earlier, and then the everlasting vision stopper goggles.
I think we have that technology already. Yeah. It's just blindfolds, right? That's nothing Wonka needed to innovate on.
You know how like a ring pop, we just made clear candy lenses.
Good.
I see the world through candy-colored lenses.
Keith, those lenses have been ground down by Oompa Loompas. You gotta be, you've become a real hypocrite here.
Oompa Loompa, Doompity Dasters, thank you for coming to Lens Crafters.
They're Oompatitions.
Yeah.
Oompatitions.
Yeah. Oompa Looptitions. Yes. Look, they can hold other jobs. Like the Wonka factory is bad. It's exploiting them, but they are capable of working anywhere and holding any number of positions. All of that is fine, and they still like to sing and rhyme while they're helping you.
Oompa Loompa, Doompity Source. Is this slide better or worse?
Oompa Loompa, Doompity Dwunty, we will make your vision 2020. Yes, exactly. Look, I look forward to the day when any of our fellow Oompa Loompa workers are not segregated into merely candy things, but they can work anywhere they like. Be they Oompa Loomticians. There aren't a lot of other jobs that start with O, so I'm running out of ideas.
They're the same guys that make beer goggles, right?
Yes. Well, I was going to say, I look through the world through candy-colored goggles, but if you want to look through the world, is this a really bad transition over to it? Yes, okay. Well, Randy, my transition lenses and my glasses have broken, so this is a very bad transition into Program Underwriter, Neptune's Brewery.
Well, Keith, I hope that you have learned a very important lesson, regardless of whether or not you got a rhyming song about it. It's all about morality.
That was a song from French turntablist group C2C. Title was Happy. If you don't want to be happy, we're not going to force you. It's fine. It wasn't meant to be a judgmental song, just a fun song. Before that, you heard the Allergies featuring Andy Cooper on vocals there with their song It Won't Be Me. And we started that batch of songs with Addie Hamilton and her song Pole Position, a place where Randy frequently is in the video game pole position, and me when I'm at the North Pole.
You're behind the reindeer in your test lab?
Yep. I'm dressed up in my elf outfit, trying desperately to get a job. LinkedIn has not been working for me to get a job at Santa's workshop. I keep posting things on LinkedIn like, hey, sure love to make toys, smiley face emoji, or just got laid off from the dentist's office, looking to transition into something where I make 7,000 Ken dolls.
Sorry, Keith, I have been getting the letters. I forgot to mention this to you. I've been getting the letters from the North Pole, the rejection letters, saying, sorry, the North Pole is not currently hiring. They're experiencing a hiring freeze, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's a lot of freezes going on up there at the North Pole, I've heard.
Yeah, it's terrible. Plus, you're too tall. You're a little too tall for the position.
What?
It's heightest, but what are you going to do? It's Santa.
Look, I'm 6 foot even, Santa. And if you think that's not good for your job, well, then I'm just going to have to go and beg for a job at program underwriter Ghost Town Coffee Roasters. And then they will also turn me down, and I'll have to look for a job, I guess, with the Easter Bunny. Maybe the Tooth Fairy. I mean, Tooth Fairy is really a fallback position, but...
Keith, maybe you haven't considered a career in the exciting field of fibsmithery, and maybe I can tell you a little bit more about it.
Welcome to Randy the Fibsmith, that part of the show where Randy makes up a fib, a flub, or a downright slanderous and actionable lie about the origin of something from our daily lives and or popular culture. Good afternoon, Randy the Jobsmith.
Good afternoon, Keith. You know, if it doesn't work out for you in the Santa biz and it doesn't work out for you in the Fibsmith biz, you can always have a life of crime.
That was my fallback school when I applied to college at MSU. As if I don't get in here, it's off to the School of Very Hard Knocks as I join a Oliver Twist-style street gang. But I'm glad to say that I got into MSU, and I got a degree in English Lit, and I have very nearly gone straight.
I will call off the police officers that I had surrounding your home.
Tell Javert I didn't steal that loaf of bread. Randy, what is this week's requested fib?
Keith, fittingly, this week's requested fib comes from you and is the phrase thick as thieves, referring to a camaraderie amongst the lesser morality-based groups that are prone to stealing things, right?
Sure.
They get along great.
Do we?
Well, just like you do probably every day, thieves start out their day by having a meal, and they don't get any more of a sense of camaraderie from that. They may or may not eat the same option as you for breakfast, but you've likely had the item that they most often choose that leads to the origin of the phrase thick as thieves. Now, we often refer to pancakes by the name hot cakes, and of course hot can refer to stolen, as in stolen cakes, like don't tell anyone else, but these cakes is hot.
Took them right off of the windowsill where they was cooling.
You know, don't leave those on the windowsill. That's for pies. Leave that room for pies. Now, of course, we also have the phrase referring to somebody who's prone to stealing sticky fingers. That, of course, is from all the delicious maple and other flavored syrups that they use on the pancakes. So why thick as thieves? They're, of course, thick because they're constantly eating these heavy, carb-loaded, calorie-dense stacks of flapjacks laden with syrup and butter. So they get real big, and you can kind of identify them that way. Now, there's a rumor, of course, that we get another common term from this same source of origin, and that's when these ne'er-do-wells would be eating in the morning and the police would show up, they'd have to make a fast break, of course another way of saying breakfast, in order to being sent to the big house rather than the international house.
That was, thank you, Randy the Fibsmith, for that multi-berry syrup of information. I
apologize in hindsight. I realized the probable pluralization is ne'ers-do-well rather than ne'er-do-wells, so I just wanted to apologize in advance. You can call off the guards.
I will call off l'Académie Française to attack you over that.
Please leave it to the upside-down Ampersand group. They'll take care of things, believe me.
Well, in honor of this week's Fibsmith, I'm going to go eat some French toast and forget entirely about flapjacks forever in order to give up my life of crime. If someone wanted or requested a fib, how would they do so?
Oh, they could do so by finding us in person and requesting that, or Of course, they could send an email of sorts.
Yeah.
To what email should they send that, Keith?
They can send an email to coffeeshowemail@gmail.com. I know it sounds fake, but
It's so identifiable.
it's so legit. Coffeeshowemail@gmail.com if you would like to request a fib. And of course, before we bid a fond adieu to you this week, we would like to reiterate that you can check us out at any of your favorite digital entertainment locations for the Coffee Show World of Content.
Is it like one of them podcasts or something?
It's got a podcast. There's a YouTube component for those of you who just don't like the word pod because you saw Invasion of the Body Snatchers when you were in 5th grade and it scarred you for life, like me. You can check us out on YouTube or at any of your favorite podcasting locations. Just search for the Coffee Show World of Content, and the Coffee Show World of Content will be at your fingertips.
Y'all got any TikToks?
No.
No TikToks. I got it. Noted. I like those orange TikToks. They're the good ones. They're not minty, but they're real good.
I went out hiking last week and I got some TikToks.
Oh, no. It's where you get that really zesty Lyme disease.
I ate at Guy Fieri's restaurant and got some zesty Lyme disease.
Lyme and chili disease. It's really spreading around the whole Tex-Mex area.
And we will be back, of course, here on KGLT. You can keep listening to this station for 24 hours a day for amazing music and other programming. And we will be back next week with more music and fun when I say that he's Randy.
And he's Keith.
Snappy catchphrase. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Coffee Show World of Content. We want to say a very quick thanks to our good friend Jake Monin for our theme song, and let you know that all the incidental music in between is from our friends in the band The Ornery Jacks. Thank you so much to them for writing such great music. You can find all of their tunes and more on the internet. You know how to do that, but we've provided some links in the text description as well for you.
Yes, and I like subscribe notification.
I rang bell and left review and comment.
You sound like the Hunchback.
Well, this is my sanctuary, and also I have a constant ringing in my ears, so fair enough.